What it do, y'all? It's your girl Makeup and Travel, and for today's video your girl is going to be optimistic again in today's video. Okay, so today what I'm going to be doing is focusing in on another project pan, and today's project pan is going to be all about eyeshadow palettes. Now I have quite the eyeshadow palette collection. If you did not see my collection and declutter, I will have it linked above and down below for you guys. And in previous years I have tried to do a pan that palette where you literally try and completely pan a palette, all of the shades, every last piece of product in the palette. Those don't work for me. I get bored very easily, or if there's one shade that I gravitate towards in a palette and I pan it and then I completely finish it, I look at that palette like, what I'm supposed to do now? So I decided to work with my two brain cells and come up with an idea so that I can use what I already know about myself, an idea that I want to get rid of products as well, or use products more frequently, and I came up with this. So let's get to it. Alrighty guys, so basically what I'm going to be doing in this video is I'm going to be trying to hit pan in multiple palettes, but specific shades in these palettes. So these are the shades that I gravitate towards these palettes for, or these are my favorite shades in the palettes, etc. And my thought process around this is that when I pick up a palette, for me personally, right, I do gravitate towards one shade, but I also tend to only use the palette when I do an eyeshadow look. For example, with a palette that you guys saw me working on at the tail end of last year, the Huda Beauty Nude palette, I would reach for this palette because it was in the project, but I was gravitating towards like these two shades specifically. Every time I reached for this palette, these two shades were at some point, somehow, some way being used in my look. And so for me, yeah, I may reach for this palette for those two shades, but I'm actually going to look at the whole palette and potentially come up with more colors and more eye looks and all of that jazz because I'm using this palette when I want to. Does that make sense? I think I confused myself in that clarification, so we're just gonna ignore me again. Okay, so basically I have picked out 6. Yeah, I've picked out 6 eyeshadow palettes that I want to start with. What I'm going to be doing is just working on these products off camera, obviously, or on camera, we'll see. And my goal is to hit pan in one specific eyeshadow in each palette. I think it can be done, and I'm excited, and I think this is going to be my way to kind of do a pan that palette. And for this year my goal is to hit pan in 22 eyeshadows throughout the year. So that's quite a bit of eyeshadow panning, and because they're my favorite eyeshadows in each palette, I feel like it'll work. Okay, let's start off with the palette that I quite literally am only keeping one shade, so smart there. And this is the Luxe Beauty Foiled Rose palette. I did clean her up because she tends to be very dirty for whatever reason. Anyways, I'm keeping it for this shade down here. Are there names in this palette? There are. I believe it is the shade Desire, but what I will do is throw in this brown and this darker of the two kind of pinky shades into my crease, throw this on my lid, and I am set for life. Okay, I am set for life. It is a really cute neutral look with a strong orangey bronzy shade on the lid. So that is the one shade I am aiming to hit pan on during the duration, and then of course when I hit pan, then I can take this out of this project. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. Okay, so for the Huda Beauty Nude palette, I am gonna actually aim for that same shade I aimed for last time, which is Concealed. I am down to the nubbins with my MAC paint pot. I am crossing my fingers, dotting my I's and my T's that I will finish that before the beginning of 2022, and then I will focus on this shade. It's a concealer-ish shade that is open. There's no compartment in it. I want to get rid of it. So that is going to be the shade that I aim to hit pan in, and I'm excited. That one I'm ultimately going to actually end up trying to finish up this year too, but it's okay. It's okay. We'll talk about what I just want to hit pan at first right now. Okay. Okay. So next we're going to go into the Venus XL2 palette. I think this palette was deceiving to a lot of people. They saw the greens, they saw the purples, and they thought this is not a palette for me, specifically those who were into neutrals. But this is a gorgeous palette, and you can definitely get some really pretty neutral color schemes and like eye looks out of. I did do a 3 looks 1 palette years ago. God only knows what that looks like. But anyways, I think a favorite shade for me is actually going to be Eve. So we're going to aim to hit pan in Eve. It's a really pretty pinky, greeny shade. And I will do swatches on all of these shades so you can see them at the end. Next is the Dose of Colors and collaboration with Desi and Katie. And for me, I think it would be really pretty to hit shade in this green. That's the one with the deepest dent, so I'm assuming that's the one I like the most. And yeah, I would like to hit pan, like I said, in that shade. Then 2 other Dose of Colors palettes that I said are on the chopping block this year if I don't make more use in them. So I do want to just actively go ahead and aim for that use. And this is my Marvelous Mauves palette. Now, as you can see, I've added shades, so we're not going to do the added shades. I'm just going to focus in on this darkest shade of this palette. I do tend to reach for deepening up shades if a palette does not work for me, and I think that's going to be a deepener up shade that will work to deepen up some looks even when I'm going for my Huda Beauty nude palette and I'm doing more of a purpley shade. And then with the Sassy Sienna shade palette, which is this baby right here, I'm gonna go in for the deepener shade as well, and I think that is going to deepen up looks that I use or that I create with this Foiled Rose palette. So overall, those are the shadows. Let's do some swatches so you can see them all on my complexion and you can see what I'm getting into. Okay, so these are all of the shades swatched. Let us go through them. So this one up here is Desired from the Foiled Rose palette. This right here is the Concealed shade by the Huda Beauty new nude palette. As you can see, it is quite light, and as you can see, this is like a beautiful amber-ish shade. I don't know how I described it before, but it's definitely, it looks like amber pretty much. Really pretty shades. Then next right here is this really pretty but subtle glittery purple shade that I think could be beautiful for work. There is like some blue glitter that on camera looks to be looking more silvery. Anyways, this is the Eve shade from the Lime Crime Venus 2 palette. Next we have the shade Cheens from the Dose of Color Desi and Katie palette, and then we have the 2 deepest shades from the respective Marvelous Mauve palette, and this one is in the shade Fluffy. This one is from the Sassy Sienna palette from Dose of Colors, and this is in Oh So Sassy. So these are some really gorgeous shades. I'm really excited and happy for this challenge. I think this is going to be a challenge that I will actually be able to do, especially because I am quite literally focusing in on my favorite shades. And I also think that these could all come together and create a very interesting look that is dark and sultry, which I am okay with. So yeah, that is the intro video for this project. I don't distinctly know if I'm going to be updating this one every month like I will be doing for my main project, but I definitely will be coming back with some updates. At the very least, if I'm not able to, it will definitely be every 3 months. But I'm just really excited to reach for these palettes, in addition to, of course, trying out different color schemes, all that stuff, and potentially picking up some new eyeshadow palettes throughout the year of 2022. I hope you guys are excited and interested in this journey with me, excited to see how this new kind of variety or an idea of a project pan could be beneficial to you and to me. And that's pretty much all I got. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.